Welcome, everybody. My name is Teresa Tim. I'm the General Manager of Midwest Family Dash, and we're thrilled that you're back for another Wicked Smart webinar with us. Today's topic is a really important one called How Remarketing Can Increase Sales and Leads for Any Business, and we are excited to have the clients that are on this call with us today. We've got a smaller group than usual. I think the reopenings across the country are affecting some of the real-time participants. I know that the rest will be looking for the link when we're done today. So this is going to be a really intimate setting for you today, which will allow you, as host, I've allowed you to be able to unmute yourself so you can ask questions in real time if you prefer to do that. Or you can ask your questions in the chat. We'll have plenty of time to answer those throughout the presentation, and we'll save some time at the end. So today's seminar is being trained by two of my friends and two specialists and experts from our Midwest Family Madison markets. I'm thrilled to have you here again from Andy and Kyle. For those of you that have been joining these Wicked Smart webinars, you've heard from them before. This topic they're both super passionate about, and I think you're going to get some really good tips for the folks that are on this call. It's exciting to help you grow your business. And with that, I'm going to let the floor go to Andy. He's going to be driving this presentation, and Kyle will be joining him throughout. So guys, it's now yours.
All right. Well, welcome to another Wicked Smart webinar. I'm really excited. I'm back in the office again, so no longer have to look at my boring bedroom. Now I have my boring office wall. I am excited about this topic because it's one of those topics that I don't think gets enough love in the marketing world, and I don't know why. Because it's kind of an untouched subject, especially for local businesses, and it confuses me because of how important it is from a strategy, from a tactic, and how it can impact every single one of your advertising marketing dollars for your business, every single one. So I'm excited to bring this topic to you, and I'm excited to have Kyle talk here too. And between the two of us, we're going to just be dropping value bombs all over the place. So that's what we're here to do. Excited about it. You've heard from Kyle in our previous trainings on Google Analytics. We're going to kind of continue this series throughout the next quarter or so of having Kyle and I and other experts here at Midwest Family talk about these type of things that are going to help increase the ROI of all of your advertising. So Kyle's a digital marketing strategist here at Midwest Family Madison. He's one of the brightest guys here that I've met in digital marketing and overall strategy. Excited to have him with us today. And with that, I will introduce to you a good friend of mine, Kyle Carpenter.
Hello. Thank you for that stellar introduction. I really appreciate it. Thank you guys all who are on this training today, this webinar. We are excited to share this with you, and I'm going to get right into it. And my hope is to make this as engaging and as fun as possible while giving you some great knowledge. So, Remarketing 101, why every business needs to have a follow-up strategy. Let's go right to it. All right. The first thing is there's a lot of noise out there, right? Everywhere you go, somebody is offering something, and businesses have the ability to constantly be marketing to consumers. They can see them on their phones. They can see them they can get to them in their car while they're sitting at home in front of their TV, while they're at a restaurant. Wherever you go, you have this opportunity to be marketed to as a consumer, and consumers are choosing what to engage with, and they're actually telling you exactly what they want because there's a lot of noise. And because of that noise coming from all around, the way that they engage, they are actually, telling you what they want. And there's a way to take advantage of that and get more sales and increase people coming to your site and doing business with you. So you don't have a remarketing strategy, huh? These are some of the things that you're missing out on when you don't have a remarketing strategy. You're losing the ability to increase your conversions up to 43% or more. And those conversions can be dependent on what the goal is of your campaign, whether that's purchasing a product from your website because you have an e-commerce website, whether that is submitting a form for a request for service if you are a service-based business. The ability to remarket to people who have come to your website is tremendous. You're losing out on sales to competition because you are not reminding those people that they came by, they looked at what you had to offer, and that they were interested. You're not going to get as many repeat visitors or engagement from those people because, like I said, there's a lot of noise, and we kind of tend to suffer from squirrel syndrome. So we are focused on one thing, and then the minute something else comes along, we're looking at that. And brand recall. If you're a business that has done a lot of or had a lot of experience working with Midwest, you'll understand that branding is a big part of the message that we talk about. And the brand recall remarketing can add to you is tremendous. And what you don't want to do is end up with a confused Taylor Swift. And because when she gets confused or upset, she starts writing songs about you. And the last thing you want is her to write a song about your business and how they're not taking advantage of remarketing. So where else does it help you? Toma. Top of mind awareness. Okay. If anybody knows what movie this is from, I love you. When they need your product or service, remarketing is a great way to reinforce your top of mind awareness. Like I said on the last slide, if you've done a lot of work with Midwest Family, you understand that branding and top of mind awareness is very important. We've got to hit them in different areas that they are surfing the web or engaging in opportunities to, purchase products or services that we have available. So what is remarketing? In my best man speech, Merriam-Webster's dictionary describes remarketing as to market something again. Now, that's not a great definition. It's just something that they put out there, right? It's a way to market something again. Okay, let's go to the next slide. Let's get really into what is remarketing. And I'm going to tell you a little story. It's story time. And this is a tale of remarketing. Go ahead. This is John Jacob Jingleheimer Schmidt. Now, I know that he has some resemblance to somebody you might know, but his name, in fact, is not my name too. Okay, but this is your ideal client. And you got to think, if this is your optimal client you're looking to have purchase your product or service, he's in need of your product and service. He will be purchasing your product and service within 1 to 6 months, but he's researching and he will buy. But from who? That's the question, right? You've got your ideal client there. You've got them to your website. Who will they purchase from? Well, let's go a little bit deeper into it. He's going to go ahead and search in Google. And because you've done the work up front of having either brand awareness or great SEO and PPC strategy, when he searches that in, you come up first and you're found. Awesome. So now they're going to get to your website. And when he's at your website, John Jacob Jingleheimer Schmidt, he's on your website. Now what? Is he going to browse? Is he going to purchase? Is he going to leave? Well, a little bit of that depends on how well your website's built and how well people are able to navigate your website. And we're going to say that your website is built for optimal conversion at this time, but he still leaves. I wonder why. Let's go to the next slide. Well, the timing wasn't right. Okay. Maybe he's looking for the best offer. Maybe he's waiting till Friday to get his paycheck. 96% of people who visit a website leave without completing an action and that you want them to make, right? And then 70% abandon their carts without completing a purchase for an array of reasons. But that doesn't mean that they're not interested, because they are. They were very intentional about searching, and they were very intentional about getting to your site. So they're going to buy somewhere. And guess what? John Jacob Jingleheimer Schmidt, he ended up purchasing this item, but he didn't purchase with you. And here's why. The shortest distance between 2 points is a straight line. Unfortunately, how most of us think about the customer journey looks a little bit like this. It's they know us and we've got a great product, so you've got to buy. They visit our website, they buy product, great, they're loyal forever. When actuality, the shortest distance between 2 points is actually under construction. Okay, it's under construction. The way that they are now shopping and engaging with our brand isn't happening in a straight line. It looks a little bit more like this. Remarketing. Okay, so what is remarketing? Linda visits your website. Linda gets a cookie placed, within her browser history and tags, and she leaves without getting anything, right? Well, later she comes and she's surfing the web for other things, and she sees, in this case, she sees a dress that, she had looked at earlier and didn't buy. She abandoned her cart, or she didn't purchase that service. Well, because she's interested, and you've seen that ad, she goes back and returns to make a purchase. So she either goes to your website and does some more research and then goes through that process again because she's not quite ready to buy, or she ends up being happy and buying from you. Remarketing is reminding individuals who inquired, connected, or previously purchased with you to come back because you've got the item they've been searching for. You've got it. They're there. They love it. They like it. You've just got to remind them because, like I said, there's a lot of noise. So why should you have a remarketing strategy? Well, it's pretty clear, and here are some of the things you should think about. Excuse me. You can engage customers at every stage of the buying cycle, whether they're ready to purchase, whether they're just looking, whether they're just trying to learn about your brand, your product, and maybe they're just getting in the market for something. You have an ability to, be hitting those customers consistently. I'll tell a quick story and then I'll move on. I recently made a purchase online, rather big piece of furniture purchase online, and it was an ad that I had come across a while back after somebody had told me about it, and this was in this case it was a mattress company, and this company continued to hit me with ads. But not only that company, all these other companies that did mattresses, but I had taken steps within this particular mattress company to have them continue to show me ads of the exact particular mattress that I had looked at. That, and some of the process in which I could go through encouraged me to eventually buy said mattress, because not only did I seek that out, but then they continued to remarket me and remind me. And as I continued to have bad night's sleep, I was forced to take action. So the rule of 7 to 30. Now, the reason I say the rule of 7 to 30, because exactly the way that paragraph has underneath it, it states that they need to hear your message at least 7 times. But even now, because we've talked about it and I've said it and I'll say it again, there's so much noise that your message needs to be heard, and people need to be reminded a lot more. Okay. It's not, you can't go straight from dating, from meeting to marriage. They've got to get to know you. They got to date you for a while. You'll get higher click-through rate on retargeted ads, up to 10 times higher. So a click-through rate is a great thing that you can increase, because that means they're getting more traffic to your site and getting more engagement with the ads that you're putting out. Better targeted campaigns. Now you're creating campaigns that are targeting people who have already shown interest. So these better targeted campaigns are going to produce better results. You're going to get re-engagement from disconnected customers who maybe did business with you 6 months ago and then kind of just, fell off the face of the earth. You can have an ability to, based on what they bought or based on what specials you have going on, to retarget them. And there's so many different ways to retarget. And then you could have people who repeat purchases from existing customers. And so when I say existing customers, I mean, hey, maybe it's somebody who purchased a laptop from you, but now they want a mouse to go with that laptop, or accessories, or they purchased a phone and now they need a charger. There's all kinds of different things that you could upsell, and why you should remarket. So here is some just statistics on why you should remarket, and the sources of these are found below. But 79% of consumers are more likely to engage with an offer if it has been personalized. So like I was saying before, if I go to your website, and say you're a car dealership, I go to your website and I'm looking at this car and I'm picking all the specs, and I, go, okay, I really want this. I don't really feel anything, and I go away. By remembering that I did that, you can then remarket me, showing me the car that I looked at, the car that I wanted, and reminding me why I wanted to look at that. Personalized offers and discounts make consumers more willing to share personal information. In a study shown, there was this percentage, 63% of millennials, 58% of Gen X, and 46% of baby boomers were willing to share their information in order to get more personalized ads. So your clientele, your consumers, your potential sales are out there, and they are actually giving up their information willingly to be remarketed to and have a better experience online. And this is how a lot of these search engines and social media platforms are performing. They're making their money by giving the user the best experience that they can, and they're making their money by people using their platform to market to those people by giving them the best experience that they can. And that's why remarketing is very important. And last but not least, you can increase your sales. So these are some interesting things that you should definitely know about when we're talking about the statistics of remarketing. So for me, I'm going to just close it out like this. You know the why, and the next up is the what, but you have a choice, right? You could be your competitor's generic ads or to the consumer, or you can be your personalized remarketing campaign. And how you want to be looked at is up to you, but remarketing is a great way to not only get more new clients, but keep the loyalty from your existing clients.
All right. Great, Kyle. Since we have a smaller group, is there any questions that kind of came to mind as Kyle was talking through his topic on the why remarketing, kind of what remarketing is? Now that we have his topic fresh on your minds, let's pause for a second, and you can add your question in the chat, or if you have your mic live, you could ask it through that too. So just pause here for 10 seconds, see if you have a question. Not seeing any yet. If one pops up, we can always jump back. So here's a question. Can you use different types of ads in remarketing? Several looks.
The answer to that is yes. You can use different types of ads and use different looks. And actually, in a lot of cases, it's encouraged, because you can have people not get so glossed over by the imagery that they're seeing. And it's a good thing to have a remarketing campaign that tests those ads out, because you don't know at first when you put some ads out which ones are going to be received better and perform better.
Cool. Any other questions? Don't see any in the chat right now. So if something comes up, feel free to raise your hand or throw it in the chat room or the chat box, and we can answer it as we go along here. So.
Hey, Andy, I'm going to share a story regarding that very topic, regarding testing ads and taking a look at, sometimes, it's aesthetics, it's the graphics, but more importantly, it's the offer. What are you offering that is going to entice the public? What is your offer? And one thing that was surprising to us in a recent campaign that we ran for a jewelry store is that we had two offers running for diamond engagement rings, and the ad that actually got the most conversions, the most click-throughs and conversions, was the more expensive of the two engagement ring choices. And a lot of times we think it's all about price and the lowest price is going to win. And in this case, the tests showed us that we had two completely different offers, completely different graphics, and the higher priced engagement ring was the one that actually performed the best. So it's pretty curious when you do these tests that sometimes when you try to predict the market need and what they want, the higher priced item in this case won the day.
Cool. Thanks for sharing, TK. So, funny story. You sharing the story about John Jacobs brought back some bad memories, Kyle. I remember at Boy Scout camp, there was a guy named John Jacobs, and I was singing the song to make fun of his name, and he was older than me, and I wasn't very big at the time. And he threw me down a hill because he said, "You sing it one more time, I'm going to throw you down a hill." So, thanks for the bad memory.
I'm glad I can help.
Yeah, right? Nothing like some good old Boy Scout memories. But anyway, so what should you be doing? So the one thing I want to emphasize is remarketing is a strategy. It's not a tool. It's not a tactic. It is a strategy. And you can really apply dozens of different tools to a remarketing strategy. It could be on social media. It could be email. It could be display ads. It could be a lot of different things. So I am a very big proponent of a strategy-first approach, because if you have a solid strategy, the tools are really easy because you can test, and figure out which one's best for you. So hopefully after some of the stuff I share with you today will help clear up some of your choices for strategies. I'm going to try to keep you out of the weeds because it can be very technical. If you don't know what you're doing, you can get overwhelmed pretty fast because it's kind of like going to the menu at like a Chinese restaurant where the menu is like 15 pages long. You don't know what the heck to order. So stick with what you're comfortable with, stick with what you know, or ask for help and ask somebody that knows. It'd just be kind of like if you had that same menu, you ask the person, "Hey, what have you had here?" And they'll tell you, and you can kind of help narrow down your choices. Or you ask the waitress, right? "Hey, what's really good here?" Right? So hopefully through my talk today, I'm not overwhelming you. I really want to just kind of give you choices on strategy. And then if you need to seek help from tactics, whether you go out and learn them yourself, or you go internal, or you outsource it to an expert like someone at Midwest Family to help guide you through this stuff. Because it can be technical, and there's a lot of ways to do it incorrectly or ineffectively. So my number one goal for you, I shared this last time, is to increase your return on investment for all of your advertising. All of it. Because there's so many opportunities that are in the small tactics, in the small technology that isn't sexy to talk about. It's maybe not super exciting, might be a little bit nerdy. You listen to people like me who read this stuff and listen about this stuff for fun. It's okay. So hopefully I can help get us there. So I always start, strategy first is the customer journey. And I'll blow up this image in a second. The customer journey is being able to take people that don't know you, perfect strangers, and turning them into raving fans. So what part of your business's customer journey are you trying to improve? Where are you trying to improve your ability to serve your customers? And this image here is one of the cornerstones that I believe that if you can understand this and implement this journey in your business, it's very similar to a funnel. It's just structured a little bit differently. For me, I understand it a little bit better. For my friends at Digital Marketer, they put this together. I added some text to it to kind of help you see where you're at in the journey to where your marketing should take your customers from not knowing who the heck you are to a strategic way to have them become a raving fan. And remarketing can fit in any one of these buckets of marketing strategy. If it's an awareness and engagement, it can fit there. If you're trying to get more leads or sales, it can fit there. If you're trying to deliver upon what you talked about, it can fit there too. If you're trying to sell more to your current customers in the ascend phase, that can fit there perfectly. You're trying to get more testimonials and social proof and reviews, it can also fit there. So it's overwhelming. My goal for you is to figure out where is the biggest opportunity in your business. So maybe like the biggest hole in your bucket. Where do you think you're bleeding the most, or your funnel is leaking the most? Typically, it's probably your homepage or your website, because that's where most of your visitors are going on your page. But I don't know what it is for your business. And that's where sometimes it's nice to have an outside person take a look at your strategy. Or you can attach it to, hey, one of our biggest goals this year, the number one thing we want to figure out this quarter or this year is this. What is that? And then choosing a remarketing strategy to reinforce that and improve that. So here are some options to where the customer journey fits into this, to where you have the awareness phase. So if I go back, awareness, right? Awareness is like awareness engagement. That'd probably be like your homepage or your website, possibly. How you could have the opportunity. I'll share some examples of some strategies you could use for that. Maybe it's you're trying to get more leads, you're trying to get more sales if you're an e-commerce company, or you're selling something online, which now with COVID, a lot more businesses are figuring out. Maybe you have a sloppy shopping cart when you don't know why people are buying and how getting back in front of them. Maybe it's you want to increase your sales per customer, to where it's like maybe you figured out lead generation, or you're good at getting sales, but your customers buy from you once and then you never hear from them again. Or maybe it's, hey, we are really excited about getting more reviews and testimonials. We really want to focus on that. So I implore you to put yourself in your customer's shoes as they're taking the customer journey for your business. What problem do they have, and at what phase do they have it? And when do you want to solve it? Because I believe as a business owner, how you can beat your competitors is the person who solves the earliest problem first will win. Let me say that again. If you solve your customers sooner or a smaller problem than your competitors do, that gives you an edge. It gives you an ability to solve a problem while maybe they're in the research phase, rather than solving a problem for them when they're in the buying phase. Remarketing can help you figure that kind of stuff out. Why didn't they act? Why, when they hit your website, did they not do anything? Asking these questions. What objections might they have? Could it be price? Could it be timing? Could it be, I'm confused because there's too many choices? All of these intelligent questions that can help guide strategy, right? What are they thinking? What questions are they having? Maybe after the first 3 days or the first 24 hours of going to your website. How is that different from a week? How is it different from 6 months from now? All of these questions can be answered by having a solid remarketing strategy. And I'll share with you a few examples of what I mean by that. So the most common remarketing strategy is a re-engagement strategy. So this is someone that's been to your website and left. Usually it's like your homepage. This is going to be your biggest audience of people. If you were to start anything, do anything from what we talk about today, start talking about your re-engagement strategy for your business. This is the one thing I think every single business should have on their site, is some sort of re-engagement marketing strategy, because your website's only going to have about 1 to 3% of the people that get there actually do what you want them to do. And if they leave, you have to assume they're going to your competitor. And sometimes the last person that they talk to wins, because we're humans and we forget and we get busy. So understand that being able to follow up is key. So now what? Now here's another strategy. This is a little bit more technical. I'd probably put this in more of the pro tip section, to where if you're pretty advanced, this is where something you might want to try. But you should probably have somebody on your team that's really good at digital marketing or online marketing, or outsource it to somebody who does. So this is a sequential retargeting plan, to where you can kind of, because you have done this over and over and over again and sold to multiple customers, probably hundreds of times, you probably understand their common objections or the reasons they're not buying. So structuring a messaging sequence of, hey, maybe they're not buying because their offer wasn't good enough. Maybe they're still comparing on, hey, why should they buy us compared to somebody else? Maybe they need stories of happy customers. Maybe they need to know why buy from us. Maybe they need to know your special story, your secret sauce. Being able to have that in a sequential messaging sequence after they do something on your website or maybe do something on your social media page, like your Facebook page or Instagram, because all watching a particular video, all of those actions online can be tracked and remarketed to. It's not all website traffic. It could be, because a lot of the things that are controlling it, Facebook has a remarketing tool, Google has a remarketing tool. Obviously, Google has a lot of properties from email to, dozens and dozens of other softwares and technology, and they're trying to get more of your ad dollars. That's how they make money. So being able to pick one and figure out how can we use it, right? So this is another strategy. This is probably a little bit more of a pro tip too. Don't get overwhelmed by it, but it's just an example of, I like to kind of cast a broad vision or a high vision of this is where you could get to after you put some time, energy, and resources behind it, and how it can improve your customer's journey after the click, right? So this would be more of a time delayed. So week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4, or maybe month 1, month 2, month 3, month 4, because you don't know when your customer's going to need your product, but their online behavior is probably telling you something. If they're looking at your blogs or looking at particular parts of your website, it should tell you something about what they're doing. So, and as you can see how important Google Analytics from my previous training is, because that can kind of help guide the data and stuff. So one of the things I experience all the time is on Facebook, I'll see an ad and I'm busy, or my kids are distracting me, or I'm trying to cook dinner, or maybe in between appointments at a dentist or something. I don't have time to kind of buy it, but maybe I'll look at it or click it and then I'll forget about it. But I wanted to buy it at the time, it just wasn't the right timing. So something like this, to where maybe it wasn't right for me that week, but maybe 3 weeks from now I'd want to buy it because it's payday or something. So this is a tactic as you think about, because you're marketing to human beings, and human beings are busy and get distracted. A lot of fishbowl syndrome and things like that, squirrel syndrome, or whatever you want to call it. There's a lot of distractions. So this is going to kind of help your business, your online strategy, be a really good salesperson, because follow-up is the key to sales. So this is one that when I was researching these slides, that just gave me an aha moment, because an offer change, to where most people's websites, their call to action or what you want them to do is call us or schedule a free consultation, or, here's our map, here's a menu, whatever. But what if that call to action didn't match where that customer was at in their buying journey? Maybe the offer didn't make sense to them because they're in research and you're telling them to buy right now. You're skipping a few phases of the customer journey, right? You're going from, can I have your number, to let's go on our 3rd date, right? You're skipping a bunch of steps. So they disconnect and run away. So you can change your offer and create an offer that is closer to where they're at in their journey. So maybe it's a free video course, or a free ebook, or infographic, or a case study, or all these things that are a little bit closer to maybe where they're at in their shopping experience. So these are all things you can test. So this is beyond the re-engagement strategy. This would probably what I would do second, to where if you were trying to kind of layer these, this is where I might start next if it were me, or if I were helping you out. From an e-commerce standpoint, if you're an e-commerce company, you're not doing your marketing, you must not like money, because you're giving it away. Because some statistics here, 41% of e-commerce revenues for repeat buyers. That's an old statistic when I looked at where I got it from, but it's still relevant today. In fact, it might even be higher. And Adobe found that repeat buyers likely spend 5 times more than first-time shoppers. So whether you're an e-commerce company or not, how does this apply to your business? How important is how is it linked to your increased revenue and sales and lead generation, things like that?
Hey, Andy, your internet's going in and out. We might have lost him. Hey, Kyle, can you pick up where we left off here?
Yes, I can. Okay. So actually, because I can't even go to the next slide. Hold on a second. Because I think we did lose him. Oh, he's back.
Can you jump back on, Andy? We lost you.
You're muted.
Can you jump back on, Andy? We lost you, and Andy, you're muted too. There you
I like to add suspense. So every once in a while, I'll just jump off and see if you're listening.
All right.
All right. So I think I ended off, if I'm correct, the types of businesses that will benefit from the most, anyone that's shopping, people that are looking for quotes, looking at other options, online savvy businesses, if you consider yourself a little bit savvier than maybe the rest of the average bears out there, or the businesses that might not want to focus on this if you're an emergency-based business, like the moments of consumers' life, where maybe you're an emergency water repair or something like that, where this might not be as important. So what will it cost? The article I was read, it said it'd take about 10 to 20% of your ad budget for remarketing. That might be a little aggressive for you. I'd just say start at $5 to $10 a day and pick either Facebook, which Facebook and Instagram are kind of lumped together because Facebook owns Instagram, or Google. Pick one, whatever you're more comfortable with, choose one and start there and then build up. Because it's amazing that $5 or $10 a day, because of how many impressions you can get from that, you can reach 500 to 1,000 people sometimes, depending on your ad, with a budget that little. So it's not going to cost you a lot of money to build these sort of things. They're supplemental. Where do you start? So I'd say start with the homepage visitor remarketing campaign. It's going to be your biggest numbers. It's your biggest hole in your marketing bucket from my experience of looking at business owners' marketing funnels and customer journey. So that's what I would start at. One thing to be aware of, if you're not setting up yourself, make sure the person setting up for you understands frequency rules. What this is you can tell the advertising person or software, in this matter like Facebook, I only want people to see the ad 8 times. Because if you don't set that rule, people could be seeing your ad 30 to 40 times and they're not going to be happy. There's a threshold, usually about 7 to, 10 or 11 times. You don't want to go much higher than that, but that's just something to keep in mind, right? My advice with anything, focus on one thing. Just like my last time I had the opportunity to teach in front of you guys, is choose one thing, one of your funnels, one of your service pages, one of your pages on your site, one offer, one tool, and build from there. Because this is how you can start getting wins, capturing the low-hanging fruit, and things like that. These are 5 resources. One in particular that I just found like an hour ago that I added but didn't get a chance to pull any data from is this 10 remarketing effects that will have you rethink PPC from WordStream. That is a really good article. So I encourage you to check out that article. And if I have some time, which run a little bit short, maybe on the end I can share a little bit about why I think it's great. But right now I'll leave some more time for questions, so I don't get super nerdy on you while you have questions. So yeah, so that's all I have for kind of remarketing strategies and helping you guide the way. We have about 7 minutes left.
We got our first question.
Heyo.
Beth asked, do you need a certain amount of web traffic to get ROI for remarketing?
No, I think you have to have some. Any website should have a remarketing strategy, whether you're getting 50 visitors or 5,000. It all just depends on how much you have to spend to reach all those people. So if you're on the lower end of web traffic, you could be spending $1 to $3 a day on your marketing ads at first, and then I'd also say keep spending more on marketing strategies to increase that traffic. because the more traffic you get, the more sales you're going to get. So it's a good, this remarketing strategy is a great strategy with a lot of different advertising tools, especially things like pay-per-click, like Google ads or Facebook traffic ads, or all the way up the funnel to, branding campaigns like on the radio or targeted display and things like that. So I could make a case for any marketing tactic on why remarketing, you'd be giving money away if you didn't have remarketing attached to it. So.
And we have another question. I believe this question is wondering if $5 to $10 a day on remarketing from on the platforms you mentioned, if that is correct, or have you expand on that?
I've tested that on Facebook ads and Instagram ads, and that would work there. For Google Display Network, I haven't had as much experience testing that. Usually Google ads are for display ads. So those are the pictures and videos that kind of show up, not like the textual ads. So I haven't had as much experience personally, but inside Google and Facebook, you choose your budget and they spend it, right? So you can start there and build up from there. So, and every business is different. So I would suggest you test it in your business and see how far it goes. Because that's the only way you're gonna figure it out.
Yeah. And I'll just add to that, pay-per-click tends to be more expensive for the text ads because of the competitiveness of the market and on Google's platform. So that's that $5 to $10 a day for pay-per-click is probably, actually I know for a fact, in most cases is not going to be enough.
Right. Yeah, that's definitely not a pay-per-click budget. Pay-per-click, you're going to be spending $15 to $15 per click, but that's a different part of the funnel, different part of the shopping experience. So this is remarketing where these people have already been to one of your properties. So it's a less expensive way to get back in front of them again. And if you look at the WordStream article that I had referenced, they talk about that in there. I don't have time to go into it, but you'll get the slides where you can kind of check it out on your own sometime in the next 24 hours. We'll get the slides to you. You can see these resources.
Any other questions? Any questions for John? John Jacob.
Jingle
Nope.
Smith. I think we've all learned that song in like 3rd or 4th grade.
Yeah.
And I got the tra-la-la-la-las in my head now, and I can't get them away. So thanks for that, Kyle. Without any other questions, can we give a little preview? We're excited about Dr. Fred. Want to share a little bit about this, Andy, for our next webinar on the 25th?
Yeah, I messed the date up here, but it's on the 25th, so it's 2 weeks from today. I'm really excited about Dr. Fred Johnson. The title is Seize Your Yellow Flag Moment, How to Reestablish Momentum and Lead Your Business Forward. I'm not a NASCAR fan, so I didn't know what it meant to be a yellow flag moment, but it's a NASCAR reference on being able to help you win. And Dr. Fred, he's the CEO of Initiative One. Him and his team really help coaching executives and business owners on leadership. And he's worked with companies like McDonald's, Transamerica, Caterpillar. He's been called the GM Whisperer with the NFL. He's worked with the Green Bay Packers, for all you Packer fans out there, Seahawks, the Jaguars, the Bears, and with a lot of other top collegiate departments. So I just met with him and his team yesterday, and they're going to deliver. And I'm really excited about having him a part of the Wicked Smart webinar. And I'm excited for you guys because of the impact he can help have on your business and impacting you as a leader and helping you bring your business forward as we are all forced into a lot of high anxiety moments and worry and such, where he can help share some insights to pull you past. It'll be very interactive, very, very fluid. He's not going to have a lot of slides, probably none. so you'll be able to interact with him and ask questions.
Yeah, and I can also speak to that. I've heard Dr. Fred Johnson speak. I've been on a few of his webinars through Initiative One. This guy is a rock star in a very quiet way. He's a Southerner, so he's got that really nice drawl that just sort of lulls you into, holy crap, is this guy smart? So I'm excited for you guys to join that one on the 25th. We'll be sending out invites soon for that. And as Andy said, we'll get you the recording of this and the slides within the next 24 hours. Thanks for joining us, and we hope to see you on the 25th for Dr. Fred Johnson. Make it a great week, make it a great couple of weeks, and we'll see you soon. Thank you.